Times now. Viewers, in an exclusive conversation with Group Editor-in-Chief Navika Kumar, US Ambassador to India Sergio Gor congratulated both Prime Minister Narendra Modi and US President Donald Trump on the historic trade agreement. He expressed optimism about the future of India-US relations. He said a next chapter is something that's going to begin, and he's also confirmed that both leaders are expected to meet soon. He also said that the final rate for India is going to be 18%. Listen in.
The question on everybody's mind is what happens to the penalty tariff. Would you have details of some of those announcements, and when can we expect the details of the trade deal to be put out?
Hi, Navika. Good to hear from you tonight. The final number will be 18. And so the final number all in, once, there's a few things that will happen over the next few days, but overall the final number will be 18. The bottom line is the secondary tariffs that were the 25% applied based on purchases of Russian oil. It's a reason the president applied those across multiple nations. And the reason being is because we want to bring peace to Ukraine and Russia. And so that is something the Prime Minister agrees with. The Prime Minister cares about peace also. And so overall, we have seen a reduction in oil by India, which is a great thing. It's nothing personal, but it's one of those things we do not believe that we should be funding wars. So overall, the number will be 18.
I also want to ask you, there was a conversation between President Trump and Prime Minister Modi this evening. Can you give us a few more details of the contours of that conversation?
Yes, look, it was a very warm conversation. It lasted, I would say, close to half an hour. It's when two friends catch up, it's very easy to talk to each other. And the relationship between the two leaders is very warm. They consider each other friends. The Prime Minister once again invited him to visit India. The President recalled his warm memories of the events both in India during his last visit and the Prime Minister's trip to the United States when they organized the Howdy Modi rally. And so it's a very warm relationship. It was a call between two great friends.
Many questions still remain on the details of the Venezuelan oil deal that was referred to by President Trump. Could you shed some light on what this oil deal could be about, and whether this is different from the Indian companies already working in Venezuela?
I'm not going to get into those details because some of those things will still get worked out over the next few days, and I'll leave that to the trade negotiators that are handling that, and also those that are involved in the sale of oil across the world. The only thing that I would say tonight is a big congratulations to both countries. This is a big win. This opens a new chapter between our two nations, and we're thrilled by that. The president is very happy with that. The Prime Minister is very happy with that, and so it's a good night to celebrate. So I appreciate you having me on tonight.
Before I let you go, the question also on everybody's mind is: would there be a meeting between President Trump and Prime Minister Modi, finally concluding the trade deal and making the big announcement together?
The trade deal is already done. So over the next few days, something will be signed as the final details, are done. And I am sure they will meet soon, as friends do. They like to get together, and it's one of those things. For too long, people said, "Oh, they don't speak to each other, they don't talk to each other." That's just hogwash. I've been there many times with the president, both privately and publicly. He's always considered him a friend over the last year. India is a complex and very large economy. When people try to compare India to smaller nations that have gotten a trade deal faster, India has tens of thousands of items that have been negotiated. So you cannot compare that to a smaller country. To put it in perspective, I'd remind all your viewers that the deal with Europe took almost 19 years. So in the grand scheme of things, this was a very small amount of time. We're thrilled that the two leaders were able to agree. They get all the credit. The tariffs will go down to 18%, and this will open a new chapter between our two nations.
EU-India deal, the United States-India deal now puts the world's biggest challenges behind them?
I can't comment on the European deal, but I will just say that we're thrilled by this deal. We've been working on this for a very long time. There have been a lot of individuals behind the scenes that have been trying to get this done. And so tonight is a big night again. It is all because of the leadership of President Trump and Prime Minister Modi. Thank you for having me on.
Mr. Sergio Gor, you've just arrived in India, and what are your first impressions of India that you've gathered so far?
I am a big fan of this country. It's not my first visit here. I came to India 15 years ago, and I've always appreciated the culture, the history, the diversity, the color, the people. It's an incredible country. So I'm honored to be here to represent President Trump in America, and with a great partner such as your Prime Minister. And with that, I'll let you go. Thank you for having me. Good night.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sergio Gor.